This is our 330 Testarossa Le Mans replica. It's not a real replica, it's sort of a copy of the car. So we built it on a Ferrari 400 chassis, so it's got Ferrari 400 engine. We've got a Maranello 6-speed transaxle in it, and Ferrari 400 front and rear suspension. We've upgraded the brakes with ventilated discs, and we've got a few cosmetic modifications to the body shape. We've raised the roof so it's a bit more comfortable to sit in. The original, your head's stuck out above the top, and the bonnet comes up in one piece. I might just pop that up now and you can have a look at that.
Sounds good. So all these panels, Gerard, they've been made from aluminium, from scratch,
Yep.
all handmade, and
Yeah, we started with doing a drawing for it, which you can see here down.
winning car.
Yeah, that's Phil Hill in there, who drove it to win at Le Mans in 1962.
Yeah.
So we did this drawing sort of from that.
Yeah.
And then we made a third scale model, which is hanging up on the wall over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was our proof of concept. Thought, yeah, that should work. And then we started making this one. So we got a Ferrari 400, took the body off it, and kept the chassis running gear. And we've done a fair bit of modification to the chassis. We've put pods on the outside to stiffen it up, put extra extensions on in the floor to stiffen that up. I just popped the bonnet up and you can see where the engine fits. The engine's all reconditioned, ready to go back in. The transaxles and the drivetrain is all done, ready to go back in.
Yeah. So
We put the one-piece front on it and struts on it so that it makes it easy to service, because there'd be pigs of things to get in through a little bonnet that they had on them originally.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. And it's easy enough to manage putting this up and down, and we've made it so that there's enough room for some poor mechanic that's got to do something to it to get in there and work on it. You can see the extra bar work we've got in here. Some of these bars here are actually original Ferrari 400 stiffening that went in there. Yeah. Half of the inner guard is Ferrari 400. The outer is what we've added to make it fit our bonnet. Inside the front windscreen frame, there's a roll bar inside there, and there's another one inside there with stiffeners and bars, and you can see some of that where it extends down below. The inside's going to stay brushed aluminium like that. It's got a clear coat on it so it stays the same.
Yep.
And the doors, you can see we made the frames first. We've got a chrome moly steel intrusion bar in it. We're using Mercedes burst-proof locks, Mercedes burst-proof strikers, and there's another intrusion bar just here to keep anything out of it.
And the engine, so that's a V12 Ferrari engine, is that?
4.8 litre V12.
It's going to be carburetted?
Carburetors.
Yeah.
So it's got the clutch up the front.
Yeah.
Runs on the back of the flywheel, which we've made that up, and we've made a torque tube up to drive down to the transaxle at the back.
Okay.
And you can see the body work.
Yeah.
These panels are handmade from flat sheets of aluminium. Made a steel tube frame up first, and then laid these over the top. These have been wrapped around here. Inside there's a 1/2 inch round tube, wrapped around and glued with Sikaflex urethane.
Okay.
The panels, these panels, they're riveted on, but they're also urethane, so they, in years to come, they'll never rattle.
So that's original to the way that was manufactured back in its time.
Yeah.
So what year, Gerard?
62.
62. Okay. Yeah.
The chassis that this is modelled after had 5 or 6 bodies on it over the years. The original one was 1960, and that was raced a little bit. I think 62 they ran it at Le Mans and at Prang. Then they modified it again in 61 they Prang. 62 they modified again, lengthened it, changed the body on it to this style of body. They ran that successfully. Phil Hill drove it. I think it won by a lap maybe, or might have even been more. And then it was sold to North American Racing Team. They ran it for a while, took the roof off it, as was their normal thing.
Yeah.
Or the bit at the back.
Yeah.
Then it was raced in the States for a while, was sold, and then the chassis was rebodied by Fantuzzi again with a closed top, and that was driven around New York for maybe 20 years or something like that. Then it was, the body was taken off it, and that body that they took off, they put on a 250 chassis, like the 250 over there.
250 there, that's getting rebuilt as well?
Yeah. So they put the body on that, and they sold that off for, I don't know, 1.5 million or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And then Fantuzzi put the body style like this one back on the original chassis.
Yeah.
And I think that was sold for something like $40 million in that guise, and is still driven around the streets now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I'll wrap it up probably in a second. We'll maybe come back in a few weeks when it's closer to the paint shop. But just how many hours, Gerard, would you say has gone into this so far?
It'd be 2,000 hours.
2,000 hours? Yeah.
Maybe a bit more.
Bit more, yeah. Great.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick walk around and finish it off there. That's great. Thanks very much.